Dempster, a graphic designer, motion designer from Coney Island in Brooklyn. I like to focus more on a lot of special effects. I like to focus a lot more on Japanese art. I like a lot of anime inspired work, and also a lot of work focusing on just nuances of black culture as well. Yeah. I think it was like my mom. I think like my mom got me into it just because like she was an artist. She went to LaGuardia. I think it was some point when I was like, I want to say like 7, maybe like 7 or so. And like I found her portfolio. I found like her portfolio from LaGuardia, and I was like, this is cool. And I was like, let me do some stuff. I was like, let me just make some art. And I was like, it started from there. It was also Joan Mitchell Foundation that really like pushed me to like keep working on my craft. But then I think what made me realize I wanted to do this for a while was just when I was applying to high school and wanted to go to LaGuardia. Then I didn't get in. Then it was another time. I was between 17 and 19, and I wanted to go to art college. Then it didn't happen. It didn't happen for other reasons. Then I think it was at some point I found out my I don't even know what to call him. Jose. His name is Jose. He was my I guess our coach for Joan Mitchell Foundation. He told me one day, or I found out one day, that he never remembered any of my art pieces from when I was in that program. And I was in there for like 6 years. I guess I was there for like 6 years or so. And then I found out, yeah, he didn't remember any of my pieces or whatever like that. And I was like, wow. I was like, I'm not memorable. And I was like, okay, I gotta like push my shit. And then I was like, I have to push my craft, and I think from there I was just like, okay, I just gotta keep getting better. And I feel like from there it was just like the ball rolling of just being like, okay, now I'm here. Okay, now I know like I have to keep proving myself, and I feel like from then I just keep trying to find ways to prove myself, or like prove that like my shit's memorable, you know? I think like the biggest thing that changed, or like events that changed it, was just essentially it was just going to school for a design program and a design conservatory, and just like time pressure of just not having me think. So I feel like because of that, it really just pushed me to think less, or like stop thinking too much about what I'm trying to make, and just do it, and just make it instead of thinking so hard. I think that's the main thing. I think the biggest thing was just figuring out my creative process of just knowing what I wanted to create, what I wanted to make as an artist, and how to actually create it, and just create it, and figuring out how to actually execute certain tasks effectively. I think that was the biggest issue I had to face as an artist, just trying to figure out what my actual craft or what my actual interests were. And I don't think I'm done with it, but I think it's still something a lot of people still face, but I think that was the biggest thing I had to combat. The biggest hump I had to get over, I'll say.
What do I want to accomplish? I just want to like make a world. I just essentially want to just make my world, like make a own world from like scratch, however I can, no matter like what tools or like what materials I'm doing it with. I just want to like essentially just make a world of my own with all my like anything that I create. I just add it to my world and just make it a part of it. Essentially, it's cool. I like starting stuff from scratch. I feel like sandbox ideas, sandbox style concepts in my head, I feel like.